So having just posted a video about our cat, Catman, I figured I'd follow it up with one about our dog, Haumea Girl. So she is supposedly a half lab, half Australian Shepherd mix. At least that's what they told us at the pet shop we got her at. But as she's gotten older, she doesn't really look like a lab at all, but a bit more on that later. So yeah, we did get her from a pet shop, and I know you're not really supposed to do that because this pet shop does kind of give off some puppy mill vibes to it, honestly. But anyway, this is the story about how she came into our lives. So growing up on the horse ranch, right, we always had animals and we always had dogs. One would start to get sick or die, we'd have to put him down. We'd go straight down to the Humane Society, grab ourselves a puppy. And it's like back in the day when you could easily go down there and get puppies, where nowadays it's like super hard. But we'd get another puppy, we'd raise them on the horse ranch, and we lucked out where they were all pretty well behaved after we kind of trained them up. There was only one that, would still want to chase horses and, would kind of snap at some people, which is definitely not okay when you have, a place full of people and animals. So we actually had to put that dog down. But, all the dogs we had, the majority of them were labs. We also had a golden retriever. And then the last dog we had was an Australian Shepherd, which is another reason why when I saw that mix at the pet shop, I was like, man, we gotta get it. So anyway, the last dog we had was the Australian Shepherd. He ends up dying right around high school time. And then my dad was like, okay, that's it. No more dogs, which bummed me out because, I really loved having them. So then about a year or so after that, I was working at this restaurant, and then one of the coworkers brings in, just a whole bunch of these puppies, and they're giving them away for free. And I was like, oh God, I really want one. I know if I ask my dad, he's going to say no. So like, you know what? I'm just going to take this dog home with me. And then, when my dad comes home, be like, hey, look, boom, we got a dog in the house. So you can imagine how that went. He was not happy. He's like, okay, great. Get rid of that thing. So we only had the dog for a couple of days. It actually did work out pretty good though, because my friend's younger sister was graduating, so we just gave it to her as like a graduation gift. So the dog, lucked out and had a good, wonderful life. But nonetheless, my dad shut that idea down. So then fast forward a whole bunch. I was with my wife or girlfriend at the time, moving out together. So I was telling her too. I'm like, hey babe, let's get a dog. And she's just like instantly, nope, too much work, not happening. Keep asking, every so many months I bring it up again. No, 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 no. Then we have our kid, right? Fast forward another bunch of years, we have our first kid together. So I had this plan in my head. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell my son, hey, don't you want a dog? I want a dog too. Let's go tell mom I'm gonna try get one. So we do that. It doesn't work. Fast forward another bunch of years, we have another kid. I do the same thing with that kid. Hey, don't you want a dog? I want a dog. Big brother wants a dog. Let's go tell mama. Mama's like, no. So then 2020 happens though, right? And the pandemic hits, and dog sales apparently just like shot up through the roof. And so then a lot of her friends were getting puppies and posting it on Instagram and stuff like that. So I could see her starting to want to get one. Like when some of her friends would post a puppy, she'd, hey, do they have any other dogs left? And she was actually starting to ask, but every time, the puppies were gone. Or I think one was like the flat-faced dog where they have like a lot of health issues, right? So she was kind of turned off with that because they could get really expensive. But they got like the wheels turning, right? Then one night we were drinking wine, watching a show, and she's scrolling through these different pictures, and she's like, you know what? We're both off tomorrow. Do you want to go down to the pet shop and just see what kind of animals they have there? To which, once I heard that, I was like, oh, shit, I bet you we coming home with one. So I'm like, of course. Hell yeah, let's definitely do that. I even went to get our older son. Was like, hey, guess what? Mama wants to go check out puppies tomorrow. I bet you we coming home with one. So next day rolls around, we go visit, basically just like the closest pet shop that we have around here. Walk in there, see this dog that's like a half lab, half Australian Shepherd mix. I've had those animals. That sounds like an amazing combo to me. The dog really did look like a lab when she was a puppy. So we end up getting the dog. The dog grows up. Doesn't look like a lab at all, but doesn't matter. Haumea is still awesome. And then one of the other cool bonuses to having, just the animals in the house in general, but I guess in particular, the dog, is being able to see my kids grow up and build a relationship with them, right? Where they've always been cool with animals. We take them down to the barn. My parents still live there. They're playing with all the different animals we have down there. But it's really different being able to live with one and being able to live with like a clean one. Like all the animals I grew up with on the horse ranch, they were outside dogs, right? So those buggers were dirty, super dirty. Like you could wash them, but then they would just instantly go roll in some horse shit or mud or do something and just get filthy instantly. So it's really cool having a clean dog around that you can really pet. So, you know, it's been amazing watching my kids grow up and really have this relationship with the dog, especially like our younger son, Kupono. Like him and Haumea, man, they get along great. They're always buddies. They're hanging out together. They're lying down and, you know, maybe not sleeping together so much, but, you know, like, Ku will be playing video games and the dog will just come and like sit right by him on the bed, and it's really awesome and beautiful. It makes your heart all warm and fuzzy and shit. So yeah, that's that. Animals are great. Go get you one. 3. Oh, what happened to you?